name's Scott Land, L-A-N-D, like Scotland, the country. And each marionette takes me about 4 months to build and design. What I'll do is I'll make a sculpt of the head, and then I make a silicone mold, and then I cast the head in urethane, so they're all plastic, and the heads are hollow, so I can do all the animation. I remove the mouth and the eyebrows and then replace them with wood, and then inside there are springs that pull everything back into the original position. The eyebrows are right there.
This is yours, Boo?
Yeah. That's incredible.
And then you find what the puppet will tell you it can do by just playing in front of a mirror and just moving it.
What's its favorite dance move? Does he have one? That's great.
He sings Soul Man, you know, so it comes out, I'm a soul man. Soul man.
Now what's the scale on this?
This is 1/3 human scale, about 28 inches.
And why is that preferred? Is that
It isn't, it's just what I pick.
That's what you do?
Yeah, because you know you can travel with more characters if you do it that size. If you get too big, it's harder to travel. And I can do a 35-40 minute show with 9 characters in a stage that can travel and fly. And when we did Team America, the puppets were about this big. So I was the lead puppeteer on Team America, and they just hired me as a puppeteer. And then they said, oh my God, you really know how to do this. It's because I've been doing marionettes since I was 10. So it's sadly like any kind of art form, either you're really into it or you're not. So that's my thing.
You do one of those elaborate fight scenes that has 2
take a picture
puppets.
of it.
I mean, it must be so much coordination. Is it 2 puppeteers?
2 or sometimes 4, because when we did the fighting scenes with the 2 puppets shooting, going after, we would literally have one on just the body and another person on the hand on each marionette. So there were 4 involved.
Were you using any forced perspective where you had a doll that was actually taller?
No, they were all
So
basically
that way. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Well, we
it was actually
did.
had a.
Yeah, when we did the sword fight, as an example, we would just put the strings really close to the hand, so it was basically a stick. So you could control it like this, and then you could stab.
So you had more control.
Yeah, you didn't know where it was going to go, and that was the beautiful thing is we just improvised.
It
the
gave it a
puppet.
little bit of random.
It's all swing and play and pendulum. Yeah. And the beautiful thing about the South Park guys is they all make it up in the moment. So all of a sudden the head comes off of Hans Blix in the shark scene, and they're like, "Oh man, what do we do?" And they go, "He'll
They
come
wrote
back."
it in?
Yeah, they just brought him back as a skeleton without a head.
Is there some that are your particular favorites? Is there a couple of them that really stand out?
Yeah, truthfully, it's whatever touches the audience, what I'm working with now. The one that's a signature piece that I have right now is based upon an actor named Carl Ballantine, the great Carl Ballantine, who was a great character actor, and he died 2 years ago at 93, but I hung out with him for 11 years, and I built a marionette of him, and he does magic. He's the great Ballantine. And he was the originator of comedy magic. And before him, he comes from the days of vaudeville. There were magicians and comedians, and he combined it and satirized the magician where the tricks would never go right. And then he was playing at Disneyland back when it opened, 1955, and this kid watched him at every show for 2 weeks straight. And then Carl's watching television 20 years later, and this guy's a star on television. He goes, "Who is that?" "He's doing my stuff." It was Steve Martin. Steve Martin was influenced by Carl Ballantine.
Wow, look at that.
So that's the one that touches my heart.
Gotcha. Hey, Scott, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Tonight we have a great